All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Chakbadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly, Shalom to the Akwaf, which is the women believers, Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Now, this video right here, I'm going to stop it on every point to get a scripture, but this man, he's speaking logically, a person who would have good sense. So towards the end of the video, he don't know the truth, so he's like, I hope that this don't happen, but it's going to happen. But let's listen.
Here in America, we tend to think if something isn't going to happen today or this week, it's really not an issue I need to be concerned about.
And that's our people, man. What do our people say? Oh, it ain't gonna happen in my lifetime. Oh, y'all been saying that. So, knowing this verse, that there should come in the last days scoffers walking after their own lusts and saying, where is the promise of his coming? For since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of the creation. Because Yahweh Shai told the disciples, all these things will have to be fulfilled. All right? All these things will have to be fulfilled. Then the end shall come. All right? So,
out of sight, out of mind. What we have been attempting to do for 2 years, we're in the third year now. The Ukraine war started February 22nd, 24th, something like that, of 2022. So we are now in the third year of the Third World War. Most people in America have no idea that a Third World War has started. They're not.
And when we go out there on the highways and byways and when we make these videos, this is all we talk about. We talk about the MOTB. We talk about World War III. And the people, especially for the ones who teach on the highways and byways, if you are in a place where a lot of traffic is, the people, they hear you. They don't give a damn, But Yahweh Shai said this. But that first initial statement that man said, that is a fact. When people say, the people act like they don't have to be concerned about it. I always say this, because, the calamities that's going on in the world haven't knocked on your doorstep. You think that, it ain't gonna never come to you or don't concern you. All these things concern you because it's going to reach you eventually. So it says, and you should hear of wars and rumors of wars, see that you be not troubled. Why? Because the Lord said that he's going to protect his elect when trouble comes. All right. That's why be not troubled. And first of all, this message is to the elect, the believers. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom. There should be famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows, which we are in right now. But since we are in the beginning of sorrows, and the sorrows haven't reached majority of the people, they think, it don't concern me. Let's go back a little bit.
Aware that there could be in America, we tend to think if something isn't going to happen today or this week, it's really not an issue I need to be concerned about.
And I'm telling you. And that's why for the ones who received this truth, and when you first got this truth, you told your family and friends, they reject you. Then if you endure, you've been in the truth for a little while, they see you. They still, don't respect what you believe, because even though they see things happening in the world, and some of them, be like, okay, it might be some truth to this, but it still is not concerning them to the point that they're going to change their life, and really because they're comfortable in this place. But let's continue.
Out of sight, out of mind. What we have been attempting to do for 2 years, we're in the third year now. The Ukraine war started February 22nd, 24th, something like that, of 2022. So we are now in the third year of the Third World War. Most people in America have no idea that a Third World War has started. They're not aware that there could be a nuclear war. But even among the people who are aware, there's still a tendency to rationalize in your thinking. I don't have to worry about it. It's not going to happen soon. Not going to happen.
Not in my lifetime. But he said a mouthful there, so I want to get a few scriptures. Because the point is this. World War III is prophesied in the Bible. Matter of fact, the first 3 wars is prophesied in the Bible. The third woe is the war to end all wars. So let's get this real quick. It said the second woe is past, which means that it was obviously a woe before the second. That's in Revelation 9. Also Revelation 8 talks about the 3 woes. And it says the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And we are approaching the third woe quickly. Ever since the Russia-Ukraine thing been going on, it's been ushering a whole bunch of other things going on. All right, especially with October 7th, 2023, when the Palestinians basically came into the land of Israel, which that was staged. But anyways, and as you see where it went, now the Israelis is just destroying the Palestinians for bombing them, forcing them into Egypt, all of that. But all of that is going to lead to World War III. So this is not something that you should sneeze at, you know. And I'm going to go back a little bit because, like I said, he said a mouthful, and I want to get a scripture to back up.
This week. But even among the people who are aware, there's still a tendency to rationalize in your thinking. I don't have to worry about it. It's not going to happen soon. Not going to happen this week. It might happen in a couple of years. I got a couple of years. And what I would say to you is that's extremely dangerous thinking, because if you've been following this war since 2022, then you have seen the progression of how the minds of both the Russians and the Western NATO nations have progressively moved toward all-out war.
Now, and here's the point. Now, the people who have a rational mind really are the ones who, the men of the Lord first, and the believers, and also these Edomites, as the Lord was said, he should make their tongues fall upon themselves. You know, you have people who are in the know. You have people who deals with the finances. You know, that's their field. You got people who deal with, you have ex-colonels and sergeants of the military, you know, who brings out a lot of information concerning, you know, what goes on in the military and the mindsets of it and things like that. So you have a lot of people speaking because the Lord have made Esau bare. He cannot hide himself. Everything that is secret should be made manifest. So, and you got a lot of people who's comfortable, as he said, oh, well, it might not happen right now or next week. It may happen a couple of years from now. And if it do happen a couple of years from now and you are alive, guess what? You're going to eat a nuclear warhead. Let's get this. Matter of fact, I'm going to let the video play a little bit more.
They're thinking they've already come to the conclusion we're going to have a war. There's nobody holding it back now, even in their thinking.
Yeah, and that groupthink has kicked in. And that groupthink is now everybody is thinking the same thing, that we're moving toward war. And anyone that thinks anything else out of that, they're ostracized. They're pushed out.
That's right.
You cannot say, hey, I got a radical idea. Why don't we sue for peace right now? Get out.
Right, get out of here, right? Because this is the will of the Lord. And when you read the scriptures, you understand that all of these things have to happen before his kingdom can be set up. He have to take down these kingdoms. And World War III is the war that end all wars. When you go into Isaiah 2, Micah 4, Zechariah 8, it goes into the kingdom. Oh, as also Isaiah 11, like the first 8 or 9 scriptures, it goes into the kingdom of heaven. Now, peace cannot come before war. All right, that's just how it is. As I say in Daniel 7:18, the saints shall take the kingdom and possess it forever and ever. When you take something, you're taking it by force. And so yeah, it's not going to be stopped. Let's get this real quick, because this is the will of the Lord, and the nations is just puppets in the Lord's game. The counsel of Yahweh standeth forever, the thoughts of his heart, which in the Hebrew is mind, and which is lob. All right, that's how you say heart in the Hebrew is lob, and it goes back to your mind. So he give his thoughts of his mind to all generations. So everybody's going to do the will of the Lord.
Out of here. What are you talking about? We're going to war. Even if we don't have ammunition, even if we can't put protective equipment on our defense secretary's plane,
We're still going to war. Yes.
Right. And that's because the Lord, as we just read, the counsel of the Lord shall stand. America know that they're weak, but the ones who are behind the scenes, like I always say this, the top military general, he's not going to be on the front line of the war. He's not even going to be in the war. The one who give orders, because this ain't the ancient world, okay? The one who give orders is not going to be in the war. So he's basically just leading the military down a burning building, all right, without no water, a burning road without no water. America is weak. They basically gave all their military equipment and funds to damn Ukraine with the hope that Ukraine could take out Russia. And it backfired. So, and then when it comes down, as they say, America haven't been strong since 1991. They can't even get people that sign up for the draft and to come into the military. It says at an all-time low. And that's why the scripture says in Joel 3:10, let the weak say I'm strong. So the militaries around the world have been getting stronger and America have been getting weaker because they've been the big bully on the block and never thought that they would, taste defeat. The scripture that I've been quoting lately, Isaiah 47:7, he thought that he would be a lady forever. All right. He never considered his later end.
That's a sign of insanity, Doc. You don't have to be insane. You can discern the times. Pay attention to what's happening. Know history. Know the depravity of mankind.
Yes.
And discern the progression of where we are going. And right now, unless there is some...
I don't know what the hell that was. But let me get this real quick. Just to show you it's the will of the Lord. So it said, in the 10 horns which you saw is upon the beast, which the beast is the NATO and the European Union, which would be what you would call today Western Europe and America and Canada. These shall hate the whore is America, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's the nuclear war. And the cherry on top is America being obliterated by the nuclear warheads. Okay. Matter of fact, I'm going to get a scripture after this. So it said, for the Most High have put in their hearts to fulfill his will. See, the thoughts of his heart to all generations, and to agree to give their kingdom unto the beast until the words of the Most High should be fulfilled. So right now, as you see in what's been going on, the beast, the European Union, they've been loyal to NATO until the time that the Lord's going to put it in their heart until, for them to burn it on fire. So it says, and the woman which you saw is the great city which reigneth over the kings of the earth. That's America. I bet you, if anybody new watching this video, I bet you ain't know that the ICBMs is in the scriptures, the intercontinental ballistic missiles, because you got to ask yourself, what is an arrow that could shoot from one continent to another? The earth quaketh, and the foundation thereof, the sea ariseth up with waves from the deep, and the waves of it are troubled, and the fishes thereof also before the Lord and before the glory of his power. Because as I say in Isaiah 24:20, the earth shall rock to and fro like a drunkard. What's going to make the earth rock to and fro like a drunkard? All these missiles pelting this place. Remember, missiles going to pelt our land. Our land is going to have to be built back up by the heathen. And America is going to be totally destroyed and never be inhabited again. And it said, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world. Tell me any archer who could shoot an arrow shit from one city to another city. But we're talking about to a whole on the other side of the world, from the eastern part of the world to the western part of the world where we are at.
Divine intervention to stop it. Man.
Let's rewind a little bit.
Discern the times. Pay attention to what's happening. Know history. Know the depravity of mankind.
Yes.
And discern the progression of where we are going. And right now, unless there is some divine intervention to stop it.
Now we just got done reading that it is a divine intervention, but he's not going to stop it. He's going to forward it.
mankind is headed towards a nuclear war, and it will be more than nuclear. It will be biological, chemical, scalar.
Now, biological, chemical, scalar. What's been talked about? Now, the scalar is talking about EMP, solar storms and things like that. Chemical, biological, you got these pestilences. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. So it says, in great earthquakes should be in diverse places, which have been going on. And now, if you are into looking where earthquakes have been, like I am, earthquakes go off like every hour, everywhere, all over the place. Sometimes they hit the mainstream news, but that's not something that they're really going to report on. And also, you have an earthquake tracker website. So yeah, these things are happening, man. And it says, and famines and pestilences, which is diseases, which could be biological, chemical, all right, airborne, and fearful sights, like as we're about to have April 8th, the solar eclipse. And then they basically centering around an event around April 8th, talking about could be outages and a whole bunch of stuff, man. We're going to see. And great signs shall there be from heaven, So like that great sign is going to be April 8th. One of them.
And space-based weapons. It'll be robots. There will be flesh-eating robots turned.
Now, flesh-eating robots, right? As you see this article up here, it said military researchers develop corpse-eating robots. Now, if you've been in the truth for a little bit, the apostles was going through this so many years ago, talking about the weaponry, and even over the years, talking about the weaponry that this devil have, that he haven't even shown. Like, you have microwave weapons, as you see the Do. I'm gonna say that the Do weapons that they shoot from the sky, but I remember back in the day, I think it was like maybe 8 years ago, how you could be standing in your house and they basically can melt your insides. It's like a microwave weapon, man. You know what I'm saying? So like they got some shit. And then they've been showing like the robot dogs and robots in general and stuff like that. So yeah, this is why the Lord, matter of fact, I'm gonna end it with this scripture.
Things that you don't even know that they have. It'll be the worst nightmare you could imagine. Get ready. God is giving us through his grace.
So now that's the end of the video. But yeah, this is why the Lord said this. It says, for there should be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. And except those days shall be shortened, there should no flesh be saved. Before the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened. So we're about to come into serious times. World War III is brewing up, which means that the Charagma is right around the corner, because World War III and the Charagma, the digital implant, they go hand in hand because they are associated with the second death. If you take it, you'll get the second death, which is the missiles being shot over here. So, we got to continue to be prayed up and ask the Lord to give us strength to endure, because we already been on the battlefield. For the ones who've been in the truth for a little bit, you go through the vexation of Satan messing with you. You go through the sacrifice of, your family ain't dealing with you like that. So you really by yourself. You only got brothers. And if you don't have any brothers, you by yourself, then shit, you're really alone. You know what I'm saying? So we be tested every day. But the Lord is just preparing us for that great and dreadful day. But also the Lord said he's going to give us provisions in that day. He said that my servants shall eat and drink. So all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.